Look who's back at it, causing all that static. It's the one and only Fanatic. How's everyone doing? June the 4th. What a day. Summary day out tonight. Today. Finally, a couple nice days, but it's supposed to rain over the weekend. Go figure. How's everyone doing? Dads and graduation. What a scary time. I'll be honest with you. When I graduated, I had some trials and tribulations because I didn't know what I wanted to do. The cat's in heat again. Sorry, folks. Everybody's in heat here. Like I said, I had trials and tribulations. There she is. She wants to say hello. Say hello to the people. All right, Mercedes. Goodbye. Trials and tribulations because I didn't know what I wanted to do, and I was leaving Fallen Angel to start the band of my last name, and scary times. I wasn't going to school, wasn't going to college, and secretly wanted to stay back with my girlfriend at the time, who was supposed to be in high school but wasn't, and then was coming to high school. And I was like, obviously I thought she was, me and her were going to be, the ride or die. Obviously we weren't, but tried to stay back, and the vice principal unfortunately knew the Fanatic's father, and said, and I quote, "I don't care if you miss 30 days of school, because you're only allowed to miss 21, and you have to have a doctor's note in the hospital. We have to have a physician's note while you're out. So 20 or 21 unexcused absences is just, I don't feel like coming to school," or whatever. And I was right there on the cusp. And he said, "I don't care if you're out 30 days, you're gone. You're leaving my school." So I don't know if the Fallen Angel guys, whispered ears, and who knows. We were still friendly, but it's a scary time. I was up there, I wasn't, I liked some of the kids, but some of them were jerks. Some of them were assholes. And to be honest with you, before I got involved with, in fact, be honest, that was Fallen Guy, GT's cousin, Fallen Angel drummer's cousin that I was dating, so no secret there. But whatever. Scary times. You don't know, before I got involved with her, I wish, going back, if I could go back, I would have been a little bit more receptive to the, not the Joe Schmo popular girls, and the ones that were kind of cute. But, Hawthorne is a different element than anywhere I've ever seen, heard of, or been. Obviously I wasn't a student, but Glen Rock wasn't like that. Somebody, you went up to a girl, and you were attracted to her, maybe she was attracted to you, or she wasn't attracted to you, and everybody in the school, you struck out, mostly because of the fraternities, and part of it's inner fear, self-confidence. So I'm not gonna lie. And of course then you hear, "Oh, I wish you would have been more friendly. You were dating that younger girl." And I had a feeling that a couple of the decent ones, I'm not going to say the hottest ones, were interested in the old guy here. But whatever happened, one of them said, "Oh, I wish I would have said something." I'm like, girls really didn't say shit back then, or they had their friend most of the time. In fact, that's really that's basically how I got involved with guy's cousin. I didn't know it was his cousin, and her friend said, "Oh, my friend really interested in you. She really likes you. This and that." It is what it is. I mean, in the reverse, it worked against me. Another little cutie came up to me after I was broken up with my first serious girlfriend, and I thought she was speaking for someone else. I'm like, I really don't think it's gonna work. Jumping to conclusions. It was really her. Well, you live and you learn, dumb fanatic. But like I said, I wish I was a little bit more receptive. Couple of my sister was a year younger, 18 months younger, this grade behind. A couple of her friends, they were, oh my, I feel weird, but I would feel weird dating you, because I'm friends with your sister. But a couple of them were, there were a couple of glances or a couple of flirty situations. But like I said, um, in, in remembrance to old Wubba, he said to me, "Oh my God, you must be doing great. Girls, if these guys are getting girls, they must be all over you." And I go, "You would think, right?" Again, I'm not. I had my share. I missed a few, and I didn't give a few a chance that I probably should have. But I was with my first um, serious girlfriend for over a year. So and first it was on and off for like 3 4 months. Then it was over a year. So that takes a lot of time. Freshman year, you're a little scared. Sophomore year, I was dating someone. I believe. I don't. Kind of. Men's. Junior year, a little more confidence. That's when I was in silent rage. That's when I really should have been more confident. But I was still, again, the fraternities, and you don't want to be shot down. But there was a couple of glances and a couple of highs that weren't there after the rock show with Silent Rage, that I should have been more responsive. But I'm a dum dum, so you know how it is. I mean, the missus is like, that girl, that waitress, that cocktail waitress or that hostess was hitting on you. So you're that dumb? I'm like, "Ah, I'm with you." She said, "Yeah, but you didn't notice." I'm like, "She's being friendly." She's like, "Yeah, right, that's friendly." So maybe it's me. It's probably me. Um, but oh my, I feel for the kids though. Really, I mean, I feel for mine too because the world's different. But in the last 4 years or 5 years since they've been 6 years since they've been out of school, out of college, well, out of high school, it's been like what, almost 10 for one of them already, not 8 already. So, um, I mean, life goes on, but things are really different, man. I mean, we were talking graduation breakfast. We were talking, me and a couple of the staff members were talking. I don't know, and they're younger than me, so they were like, I don't know if this would have flew when I was a kid, and that's way sooner than I was in high school. But a couple of girls, they're out in the open. They're with another girl. I don't know. I don't know. I mean, I'm old fashioned, and to me, it was Adam and Eve, not Adam and Steve. Um, Back in the day, I probably would have got in trouble. I would have been like, "Hey, baby, if one of them was kind of cute, yeah, I'll bring you over to the dark side." But then for that today, you say that you're done. You're out of kicked out of school, arrested for um, uh, verbal assault. I mean, the Wahlburgers. I want to get down here again. AC, I'm starting to get the bug. We will definitely be down in AC for the David Lee Roth in August, but I don't know, maybe want to sneak down before that, get a little itch. See how the money's coming in. We had a nice parlay last night. Um, Twins minus a run and a half and the Rays on the money line. $20 to win whatever it was, 48, 58. Had it for 40 and said, you know what, 40 or 50 is my limit right now. That's all I can really afford once, and I do that once in a blue moon. I usually do it opening the first game of the year for football, and usually somebody I think's going to be good don't show up, or they don't cover, or like the Bengals, and they always lose on week 1. And yours truly forgets not to bet them, because I did that cost me in the big parlay bet, and then the next year cost me in the suicide pool. So you gotta live and you learn. I got that written down. Cincinnati, week 1, off the limits. I mean, if I draft Joe Burrow, that's another story. I mean, you're gonna have him in your lineup for fantasy. Your old friend here, the Fanatic's been watching a lot of true event movies. Zero Dark 30, about when they went and they found the compound where Osama bin Laden was hiding. That's a good movie. That's a good movie. That's a tense movie. Put the sound surround up. Put the sound bar, the subwoofer. Very good movie. Zero Dark 30. I mean, touches. You get your little good movie. Flight 93. Another good movie. There's another one. There was one that was in the theater and one that was made for TV. The one that made for TV is a little bit, I don't know. I mean, I heard there was more events and more details, but I watched the one that was out in the movies. I've seen it before. I don't know if I ever saw the other one. I watched about half an hour of it, 40 minutes of it, and I said, I know the story. I turned it off. 13 Hours, The Secret Soldiers of Benghazi. That's another one. You see people getting blown to bits and pieces. And that's another thing. America, Libya, they told us they don't want us there. We'll settle our own things. Oh, you be at the embassy, but don't be anywhere else. We were somewhere else, and cost people their lives. They're in a little fake compound with a big slaughterhouse, and they called it the zombie zone or dead zone. That's where they came from. That's where all the Lebanese guerrillas came from. But that was a good movie too. Those movies, Patriot Day, another one, Mark Wahlberg. There you go. Feels good. Patriot Day, about the Boston Marathon bomber, those two scumbags. Oh man, that one gets you. That one burns you up. Those two, that's how they are. They're hiding in the weeds, and the one got a big tough guy. Yeah, he's a big tough guy, all right. Two pussies, two crybabies, and the wife was even worse. If I was in that room with her, I would have shoved her face into that table so hard she wouldn't know where the fucking table began and her face ended. Fucking bitch, fucking Muslim lady, bitch. What a. I mean, they got a different way of life, but come on, man. I mean, I know it's a dream that we all get along, but you're just evil person. You went and killed your husband and his stupid ass brother went and killed innocent people. What's that? What did that do for your cause? Nothing. What did it get you? Killed. What did it get you? Your daughter's alone with you, and your husband's dead. And you're probably smooching off of this country anyway, and living it, collecting or maybe you had life insurance or disability or whatever, and you didn't want to be. He didn't want to be here, so you shouldn't be here. That's my opinion. That's if you put the Fanatic in charge, you're gonna have the right people out of here, not just the guy just doesn't look the part. He's got tattoos on his hands when he, the whole deal. Um, who knows? And even if he did, even if he was in that group or that gang, bring him in the room and interrogate him, make him tell you, oh, he's got symbols on him, or we think he's wearing a Chicago Bulls hat. So there's no Bulls fans? Nonsense. But there are some people that shouldn't be here. There's no doubt about that. But again, I go for the best guy. I don't go for parties. Um, I am not going to sit here and cry. I wasn't a big Joe Biden fan. I definitely wasn't a Kamala Harris or Kamala Harris fan either. But she probably would have been better than Trump, than this jerk. And I definitely ain't a big fan of his. And I didn't mind him the first time. Was willing to give him the benefit of the doubt. But more he opens his mouth, the stupider he sounds. And then you get into all the details with the failed. I mean, I knew about the casinos and the USFL, but I didn't know about the meets and just, the mommy and daddy. Daddy gave you money and you could just do whatever you want, like a video, like a sitcom. The guy's no good. Elon Musk's probably worse, but again, this ain't a political show. Just give you a little bit of heads up rundown. A couple of more shootings. I don't know what it's gonna take. I really don't. The one shooting in North Carolina was a party. Maybe something went down. Somebody was with somebody's girl, or somebody said something and didn't leave the party, or whatever. And again, I know that it's wrong, but that I can at least wrap my head around and accept it to some extent. But the other person that just went into place and shot somebody, I believe it was in Ohio, just started open fire. For what? It's not, those people didn't do nothing to you. Oh, you got fired, okay. And you might have got fired for no reason, but that's the manager, not everybody in the store. And I don't even condone killing the manager, but again, that you'd fit a rage, you're going to pay your dues 8 to 10 years, but killing everybody else in the store? That's a little too much. That's no trial, dead, in my opinion. But again, I'm just a regular Joe Schmo. What do I know? That's just the way I look at it. I try to give it to you straight. I try to look at it the way it should be, or the way I think it should be. So, and I'm pretty, like I said, I've been around, level-headed, seen a lot. So, again, you choose. Also watched the 28 Days about the zombies, about the virus from the monkeys, and people turned into zombies. The first one's good. I liked it. This 28 days later, or 28 weeks later, I believe the second one, and there's a new one coming out. I'm gonna watch it today. If I remember correctly, it's not as good, but I'm gonna watch it and I'll let you know. Other than that, hockey's starting tonight. Like I said, I picked the Oilers, so I can't, it's on tape, it's on video. But it wouldn't kill me if Florida won because they're from the U.S., but I said Edmonton. I'm going to stick with it. Not confident, not going to bet it, but that's who I backed. They got hot once they came back from 0-2, down 0-2 against the my Kings, figures. They've been hot, so. Then tomorrow night, the basketball. I can't see Indiana beating Oklahoma City, but you know what? The momentum is switched. I believe, the slate is clean. I believe if Indiana coming off the tough battles with the Knicks, and if it was a day or two, Oklahoma City would have a more of an advantage, but since they've both been off, same with hockey, it's kind of too long. I know they got to speculate the series going to 7, but a little bit too long in my opinion. I mean, these guys are supposed to be professional athletes. They are professional athletes, supposed to be high trained and nutrition, and they can sacrifice for a week and get out there every other day and give us their all. So, and I'm gonna go with Oklahoma City. I mean, it doesn't really matter to me one way or the other. I could care less. But at least it'll be somebody new, somebody that hasn't won. So that's good. That's something to enjoy about, something to be happy about. But you'll see Oklahoma City shirts. There was a couple because of Durant and Westbrook and James Harden. There was a couple floating around when they were together, but they didn't win. If they win, there'll be a couple of hats and shirts, jerseys from the MVP popping up. You'll see. But first they got to win it. Probably will. UFL. Now the playoffs are here. Last week I watched about a quarter of the Arlington game. Low score. They both. Arlington was at men's, and San Antonio was. They weren't good. But Memphis wasn't good either. But they beat the Stallions once. So any given Sunday. But the Stallions put up their second biggest points scored in a UFL game. What do you take of that? Was that payback of the loss? Even though it didn't really mean anything, they already won the division and will be hosting the Michigan, who they beat twice during the year, this weekend. I mean, if you haven't watched by now, you probably won't watch. But Sunday, one's on ABC, one's on Fox. The USFL Division Championship and the XFL Division Conference Championship. DC against St. Louis. St. Louis beat them twice. The last game really didn't mean anything, so I really didn't go on that one. But St. Louis is hot right now, so I'm going to give them the edge, just like Vegas is giving them the edge. In Birmingham against Michigan, Birmingham has had their number. They seem to be playing very good defensively back 2 weeks in a row. I mean, I don't know what Michigan showed on week 9, but Memphis was trying, and they scored twice on defense. So their defense was swarming. Other than the first drive, their defense was almost dominant. So take it for what it's worth. I still think Birmingham is going to be able to beat them. Then the next week, they lost to both of them. They lost to St. Louis. They lost to DC in week 1. After DC's coach Reggie Barlow walked away, and that was kind of disheartening. And Greg Williams just kept putting the pressure on Magoo. I think they can beat them. I mean, anybody can beat anybody. I think they have a better chance of beating DC and winning for the 4th time than they do St. Louis, because St. Louis beat them 29-28 in a game about 3 weeks ago that went back and forth. The Stallions are playing with Jamar Smith, the practice squad 3rd-string quarterback, but he played with them from year 1, and he's been around, so it's not like he's a bum, but he's not really their main quarterback. And the guy that Max Duggan, he looks like he did at Kansas at TCU, or I forget. I think he was at TCU or Kansas State. He looked good for St. Louis. I mean, like I said, last game, take it with a grain of salt, but the week before that, he was dicing somebody up. So, take that for what it's worth. It probably will be if I was going to bet, I'd be St. Louis and Birmingham, and then I got to back my boys, but they lost to them already. Again, it was back and forth. Maybe the bright lights will get the Duggan. Um, Birmingham been there before, won it. They do have some players that won it, and Skip's won it. So we'll see. I mean, it is what it is. I'll be watching Sunday. Like I said, ABC and ESPN. Not sure which is which, but um, all right. I'm gonna wrap this baby up. I don't want to go too much on a tangent. There's always more to talk about, but just gave you a little life experience, graduation, little football news, little you know, baseball bets, whatever. A couple movies here and there, whatever it is. You know where it's at. You want something done right, you gotta do it yourself. You come here and you see the old fanatic, your old pal, the one and only fanatic. And as always, please always remember, never forget opinions, except for mine, are like fanatic, just trying to get through the week, over the hump. Hang in there. Peace.